So we get started. Take a look at these teams. And
Prepare for battle.
it should be a good one.
I will commit
Only have
this to
so many replays to go. I think, like, there's someone who's got a couple left, one person specifically, and then other than that, there's like 5, and then that's gonna be it. So we'll see how the schedule goes. And this should be good. Finally finish these all up. And then not do another round of this. As much as I do enjoy seeing a little bit of different Dota when Dota... Not as much anymore. Dota, I think, has definitely... The hero pool in competitive play has expanded quite a bit. I think there was definitely a stale point in Dota where everything kind of seemed the same. But these replays were nice to see different heroes. And really, you know, something different. Especially techies, which was played in probably 25% of the replays. Don't quote me on that, I don't actually know, but it definitely seemed like there was techies in quite a bit of these. But for this one, no techies. Disruptor, Slardar, Invoker, Jug, Timber. And then for the dire side, Lion, Ricky, Spirit Breaker, Luna, and Tinker. So obviously Tinker mid, Luna safe lane with the Lion. Spirit Breaker and Ricky are here, and it looks as though the Ricky is looking to farm. For the side of the Radiant, Invoker mid, you've got the Timbersaw over in the off lane, Jug in the safe lane, being supported by both the Disruptor as well as the Slardar. So this is before the 3 hits created a bash. But here with the Disruptor, you've got the Thunder Strike to at least harass the Spirit Breaker out of this lane. But Ricky gonna try and stay here. We'll see how long he's even willing to be here. Especially how long it takes for the Radiant maybe to bring over a Sentry Ward. Once they bring over a Sentry Ward to get Thunder Strike on him and you know, Slither Crush comes out, it puts this Ricky in a very precarious spot where I would say his lane almost gets shut down if they were to play like that. But for the moment, Disruptor's not getting a Sentry. They don't have a Sentry on the Slardar, and of course Jug, he's farming up, so he's not going to spend that early gold on a Sentry Ward. Let's see how this all kind of develops. As that should be a charge over top. This is still going to be a little bit rough. He's only got 1 in the reactive armor, but that's still giving him quite a bit of regen. With the Tango, he's getting 15.9 at the moment. And this charge is just taking way too long, so there's no reason to go up there. With the regen he's got, now going into a salve, being full health, you're just not going to create a chance maybe the way you would have liked. The Luna should be able to do all right in this lane. It comes down to, I would say, positioning for this Luna. And again, right under these trees. I don't know what you're doing or where your Lion's going. Yeah, I understand that he wants the 2-minute bounty runes, but if your Luna's getting dove like this under the tier 1 tower where Timbersaw can just kind of stay here, I think it's a bad spot for you to be in. And yeah, you're going to drain all his mana, get a stun out, but still putting you in quite a bit of trouble. He has a Mango there, and you're probably dead. And the Sunstrike comes out, does land onto the Luna. They have the vision here with the creep, so making that one a little bit easier here for the Invoker to get that first blood. And for the Radiant so far, this is looking like a really good start. Over bottom, it should be an easy time, as you already see that the Jug is sitting 15-0. Timbersaw with 2 in the reactive armor. I really don't think that he's going to be dying in this lane. I don't think they have the damage, quite frankly, to go onto this Timbersaw at the moment. The Luna's farming alright, 12-3, not the worst in the world. He was getting pressured quite a bit, did end up dying, so you want to make that back. Make sure you don't die in this lane anymore. Stay alive and, you know, farm as much as you can. I don't think you're getting the kill on the Timber, but if you could just farm, that's all you can ask for on the dire side at the moment. A lot of creeps coming in here. This is going to be under the tower. Although he doesn't have to bring it under the tower. He does have 10 reactive right now, so his regen's quite nice. With creeps coming in, let's see how many of these last hits he scores. Gets one there, misses another. Taking a bit of damage here. Letting himself get maybe a little bit too comfortable with the 10 reactive armor stacks, and Luna just hitting away to try and make this Timbersaw feel uneasy. Over bottom, we take a look. Ricky's at 3. Spirit Breaker at 2. Has 1 into the Greater Bash. But Jug's doing an alright time at 20 and 1. And he's okay in this lane. Where'd the Disruptor go? He's continuing to pull for this Jug. So, yeah, he's happy in this lane. Radiant in all 3 lanes are doing alright. I'd like to see what this Tinker is able to do. They bring the Disruptor over. He doesn't have Glimpse. He just has Kinetic Field as well as the Thunderstrike. Walking up like that by these creeps is probably not the best move. And now sapping a little bit of experience, but still ahead by a little bit. And that's given away that they do have vision there. You still see him. You know he's staying nearby, and he's got to know that they know he's staying nearby. So let's see if he's still out. It should be an easy word to grab, right? Sunstrike will land onto the Tinker. And this is... oh, this is a sentry in the wrong spot. Nowhere near close to where the Observer Ward was. And now the Spirit Breaker is the one in trouble. Thunderstrike on top of him. Not level 3, so no Glimpse still. Meanwhile, Ricky over bottom ends up dying. Jug will get the kill there, and that's with this Slardar once again. So Radiant, all lanes, just doing so well. This ward still sits here. This Sentry Ward, unfortunately, just, I don't know
Soldier's fortune.
If maybe you thought the ward was here by the stairs on the high ground, but you were standing here when you got hit by the rockets. Or, you guys, can you see my mouse? Yeah, you can. So, yeah, I don't know. Interesting place to put that Sentry Ward, nonetheless. So while this is going on, Luna's taking the top spot in terms of CS. Now sitting level 5, you've got Timbersaw level 6. Timber chains across the Luna, but still struggling to have really anything to follow up with because he's low on mana. Has 3 in the reactive armor, 15 stacks right now, regenerating at 25.9. So life is good and really shouldn't be too scared overall in this lane. Sentry Ward was placed bottom by the Radiant, so this Ricky has to be careful. It's a little bit higher in the lane. I believe they know that they have this vision. The Sentry Ward on the side, there was a secondary one I didn't see earlier. But Spirit Breaker coming in, and this is a questionable play once again. The Blade Fury right on top of him, and he has to be careful. Luna over top ends up dying. Sunstrike a little bit late. Southern Crush comes through onto the line. They use the smoke screen to silence up these 2 heroes. And it's now tri-lane here, bottom for the Dire. This is letting Timbersaw kind of have his way, and on top of that, Invoker out-leveling this Tinker. So charge coming out once again. This is going to be over bottom. Southern Crush comes out with the Blade Fury on top of him. And again, he's just kind of dead. And we saw a little bit of a hint of that in the previous engagement where we thought, is he going to be able to survive if he does something like that again at this low of a level? And now that they've gained level 5 on both these heroes over bottom for the Radiant, they get the kill. And Timbersaw, by himself, dying to the Eclipse. A little bit of a surprise there. I didn't think he was going to die in that lane, but still, Radiant ahead by 2,000 net worth. It's a charge towards this Invoker. But with what to follow up, that's the question. Charge comes all the way in. The rockets don't land. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Blessings upon a loyal warrior. Bottom. Kinetic field, Slithering Crush. They'll get the kill onto the Lion. They look over at the Ricky. The chase is on. Gets back to invisibility and is able to escape at the same time. Invoker getting a kill onto the Tinker, and Radiant really starting to just pull away with this. 8.5 minutes in, we take a look at the net worth. You've got Invoker leading the way, just hitting 4K. Behind him is the Jug, who takes a little bit of time to come on. He's going for the Battle Fury, and he is looking ready to go. He's got Omni Slash available to him, and Sardar getting really close to having that Corrosive Haze, so that minus armor is going to be really bad for the Dire. And they might even just continue to fall behind quite heavily. Puts them in a really bad spot. Sardar's been farming quite well, and maybe you want to give a little bit more to the Jug, but having both these heroes at level 6, having the Corrosive Haze to go after this Ricky, is going to be really quite big here. So with the Corrosive Haze, they run over. Guardian Sprint, but they've got the Glimpse, and tricks to the trade to avoid the Slithering Crush. That just did not time that right, but he still has the Corrosive Haze on him. The Omni Slash comes through, and that's going to be a double kill here for the Juggernaut. Both the Ricky and the Lion falling. Easy 2 kills here for the Jug. Uses that first Omni Slash to get himself 2. Now we look over mid. Tinker in a lot of trouble. The Cold Snap and the Meteor right on top of him. And that is yet another here for the Radiant. Already ahead 5,000 net worth. Charge towards the Disruptor. Gets hit, gets pashed, but Roche helps him out for a second. But the silence comes through the Rickies here. Luna over here as well. And yeah, I guess that's a kill, but at the same time, that was pulling a lot of heroes to just get that one on a Disruptor. You know, that's not even on the Invoker. Just a touch surprising there. Timbersaw losing a lot of these stacks. And this is the thing that kind of weirds me out is Ricky was trying to farm over bottom. Now he's ahead of the Tinker at the moment. The Tinker does need a little bit of help. Clarity on the Invoker. They've got the rocket, so you got to understand that there's somebody near you right now that's giving him vision. And Ricky's just standing here. Observer Ward comes out, but no Sentry. Timber did get to the Eclipse over top once more, and that was with the help of the Spirit Breaker. It looked like maybe the Ricky was going to go on somebody here, but over top, they get yet another kill. Luna is really recovering quite well. It was a bit of a struggle early on, but has killed this Timbersaw twice, and that has helped the Luna get back towards the top of this net worth, and really the Luna here has to kind of open up some space. So obviously we know the pushing potential here of the Luna, and you know, if he's able to get that Mask of Madness and push and farm, we could see the Dire kind of get a little bit more room on this map to farm up a little bit and possibly find their way back in it. Meteor again on this Tinker, burning, but not dead, and the Sunstrike is a little bit just too far north. Trying to anticipate the Tinker and his movements. It's a little bit hard. Very close to the Blink Dagger on this Slardar. That's going to be huge here as well to get right on top of that. Ricky, look at where the Tinker is. He just has no farm. He's getting destroyed here against this Invoker. He's got 2,400 gold of his own.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Dire Ward spotting where the Slardar is, who just almost has enough here for the Blink Dagger. Ricky's still surprisingly high in terms of experience, despite really not being able to do too much. They're trying to move up onto this tier 1 tower, but they need to be careful. Lions here has the Hex as well as the stun, taking a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Spirit Breaker dies inside the jungle. And now they look after this. Ricky's got the Corrosive Haze on him, and there's the tricks of the trade immediately. Juggernaut has to be a little bit careful on this one, as it's under the tower, but able to Just get away is the Ricky. Not really feeling like he was in too much trouble as he just blink strikes out. But 3 heroes here still sitting over bottom. Continuing to farm is this Jug. He's just about got that Battle Fury. And Sardar should be able to pick up that Blink Dagger soon enough. But Tinker over mid. The charge will be in time. The bottle's keeping him alive. The Sunstrike. Woo! Just off the mark. But still with the Thunder Strike, they'll get the kill. There's the stun onto this Disruptor. Static Storm on top of the Invoker, but they do not lock him into the kinetic field. Lion. Oh, wait, never mind. Sorry, Disruptor is on Invoker's team. That's my fault. There's the Static Storm on top of the Lion, and the kinetic field locking him in. Getting a little lost in my own ways.
Dire's structures are
That was horrible.
fortified.
Smoke screen, tricks of the trade. Chakram where he's going to be landing. Timber Chain across, but the Blink Strike. It's a good move to try and make some space and get around here, but the Timber Chain once again, Corrosive Haze placed back on top of him. The Luna comes over the Eclipse. That's going to rain down onto the Timbersaw as well as the Sardo. They'll get themselves one, but they lose the Luna. The charge comes in on the Timbersaw. They'll get the kill. No trade. 1 for 1. Sardar dying a little bit earlier in that engagement. They do trade the ones afterwards for it. Charge comes out onto the Disruptor. He's hexed up. The ult comes through from the Spirit Breaker. And then the stun and laser coming in.
Try a crowbar.
14-7, 4,000 net worth lead still for the Radiant, but Luna again taking over the top of the net worth despite dying over towards bottom. Charge, that's going to be mid onto the Invoker. It's got Ghostwalk as well as this Tornado, but Spirit Breaker not charging it, not going to matter. Ricky almost has this Diffusal Blade. I'm kind of curious. Farm hasn't been that fast, but he's doing okay. Got a lot of heroes set up here towards mid. Spirit Breaker gonna earn himself and see what he can do. Ricky under the tower once again, shows himself. Battle Fury picked up by the Jug. And that was a blink forward by the Slardar. They've got the glimpse as well as the kinetic field, locking in the line. Not going to make that mistake twice. And Smoke Screen comes through. They'll get the kill onto the line with Jug. And they look over at the Ricky, but back Invis as he's got level 4 on the Cloak and Dagger. But he shows himself. That puts him now under the Corrosive Haze. He needs to get out of here. Tricks of the trade, comes out once again. Tinker comes over. The Rocket's going to land under the Disruptor as well as the Sword. The Static Storm's going to be laid down as well as the Kinetic Field, but the Ricky's already gotten himself out. Omni Slash onto the Tinker. Won't be enough damage. Blade Fury on top of that. Here comes the Timbersaw. They'll get themselves one. They look at the Ricky. Smoke Screen on top. Now silence up is this Timber, but he'll clean up the Ricky after this Jug dies. Looking now over at the Spirit Breaker under the tower, but they've got the Disruptor. The Kinetic Field comes out. The Timber Chain with the Chakram coming over the top. That's a double kill here for the Timbersaw, possibly looking for more as Lion just kind of shows up. Sunstrike won't land. And there's the Eclipse again coming out from the window. That's the third time the Timbersaw has died to that.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
3 for 2, but losing the Timber as well as the Jug.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Not the best. $7,000 net worth leads so far for the Radiant. And they are ahead by quite a bit, but again, it's the Luna who's trying to keep them in this. If the Tinker can come back as well, that would be nice, but you see how far behind he is. The Ricky's doing okay. We'll see if it lasts. If this Diffuse is going to make a difference. But with the Battle Fury now and the Jug, this farm's going to go up immensely. You've got the Invoker who's doing well. He's got Ags already. So things, at least for the moment, looking stable for the Radiant. Things kind of slowing down, but again, Slardar. He's got this Blink Dagger, and to be that initiator for his team is going to be quite nice. And having that Corrosive Haze to spot this Ricky, get on top of him, as long as they can lock him down before he gets Tricks of the Trade off, they've been able to do a lot of damage and get the kill on towards him, but they have to make sure they lock him down. We're seeing how much damage that Tricks of the Trade is doing, on top of giving them time and space, so we need to be careful. The Tornado comes out onto the Tinker with the Cold Snap and the Meteor. They'll get the kill. The Blink Southern Crush comes through, but the Stun's going to be thrown from the Lion. Glimpse back under the tier 2 tower. Timber Chain over, as well as the Kinetic Field to lock him in. That's going to be 2 here for the Invoker. The charge was started by the Spirit Breaker, and now thinking a little bit differently. Ricky's here, doesn't know he got hit by the Chakram, or they don't know he got hit by the Chakram. Doing a lot of damage to him, and he uses that Shrine. They get the Glimpse, Kinetic Field in front of him, as well as the Ice Wall laid down. That's going to be 3. Ricky comes over, there's the Eclipse, doing a lot of damage with the Tricks of the Trade, taking the Disruptor as well as the Invoker. Timbersaw needs to be careful. Here comes the Ricky, Chakram out, Timber Chain over. That's down towards these Ancients, and now the Blink Strike over, and they'll get the kill. That's all 3 heroes dying. Luna and Ricky doing so much work right there. Those 2 heroes just keeping their team all in this, and it's been 8,000, 9,000 net worth lead here for the Radiant, but now it's 5,000. They're pulling back. This Luna, like I said, enough time and space, getting enough farm, can control the game. He has the Diffusal. He's going for the Basher next. He needs to really be careful about how he approaches going in on this. Behind him, there was a stun coming through to get the kill into the Disruptor. Luna's going to take care of that. The Omni Slash comes through onto the Spirit Breaker. The Tricks of the Trade will be used to avoid that Omni Slash, but 1 for 1 so far. Timber Chain towards the Luna, who backs off. March of the Machines is a little bit far away, and it only ends up being a 1 for 1. They are pressuring. I don't know if I agree with the pressure that they're trying to put on. Eclipse is down for another 40 seconds, but the BKB has arrived for the Luna. So they back off, and the Dire feeling a bit strong despite their deficit. €4 here for the Dire to find this Timbersaw. And Regen was picked up. They've got the Silence. There's the Diffusal. Stepping into that Silence may not be the plan here, because now you've got that Guardian Sprint, but the charge is catching up to you. There is no Omni Slash for this Jug. Towards top, Tornado, EMP. Immediate attempt to TP out, but the Cold Snap comes through from the Invoker with the Chakram on top of the Luna. And that is a big kill here for the Radiant. Slardar going for a pipe. Blade Mail picked up here for the Spirit Breaker. Still Luna ahead in net worth by about 1,000. They look over at Roche thinking about getting it. And the BKB is at 10 seconds. Still for the Luna. Didn't use that to try and escape in the previous engagement. But Tricks of the Trade comes through as well as the Diffusal Blade. Charge comes out. They'll get the kill onto the Disruptor. Omni Slash is used. That's going to bounce around the Spirit Breaker as well as the Lion. Blade Fury on top of that. Timber Chain over, trying to get themselves at least one. Turns around and throw the stun for a moment, but the Corrosive Haze is on the Ricky. Blink Strikes over towards the Tinker. Sunstrike just a little bit long. And now, Tinker needs to be very careful. Timber Chain misses, and March of the Machines is laid down. And now the Radiant go after the tier 2 over mid. Luna's still not up for another 12. This is going to be the tier 2 for sure.
Dire's structures has fallen.
So Radiant still, their farm is just, on all their heroes, is quite high, and the Dire, unfortunately, are relying heavily on a singular hero. Sunstrike, missing the Lion. The stun is a complete whiff, but he gets the Hex as well as the charge coming out for the Spirit Breaker. There's the ulti used. Luna coming over. The Spirit Breaker trying to make as much space as possible with this Blade Mail, so if an Eclipse comes down, he might find a couple of kills here. The BKB is used. They'll get the Sword Art, look over the Disruptor. That's going to be 3 heroes dead. Double kill here for the Luna. Invoker just getting away, as did the Jug. Ricky came in to help out this Luna, and they get themselves 3, losing the Tinker and the Spirit Breaker, and I believe the Lion a little bit earlier on. Actually, the Lion, did he die there? He might have survived. Let's see. No, they got the Lion here. Tinker, Spirit Breaker. I think he survived in that engagement. That Lion death is from the mid lane.
Take that.
Again, Luna just single-handedly holding on to it. And it's impressive. The Eclipses have just been pretty perfect. You'd think the Jug would be able to keep up. Has Battle Fury blinked as well as that Mantle style, but see how strong the Luna is. Charge coming through, and oh boy, Sword are in trouble, but the EMP as well as the Tornado. Now the Static Storm comes through for the Disruptor, but the BKB is going to be popped by the Luna. They'll get the kill onto the Sword. They look to get themselves at least one more, and they will, but here's the Ricky on top of the Invoker. Courier dies as well. The charge comes in, and that's another one biting the dust on the Radiant side. Jug's inside the jungle. I think a catch up to him. Oh boy. Losing beam. Setting up a charge. There's the Blade Fury as well as the Blink. So the bounty room, but the charge finally connects. The ulti comes through right in the hands of the Luna. That's going to be 4.
Dire's middle tower
Charge onto the Disruptor as well as the Urn. Blade now used. Glimpse back. Ricky just under the tier 2 tower. Getting kills here. Back over. Eclipse again on the Timber. Spirit Breaker survives, trying to get the kill onto the Sword Art. Don't find either. Timbersaw uses that Shrine. Sunstrike hits onto the Spirit Breaker, but he survives it all. $7.24 in this game. Is back towards even. Goes down. They're looking towards Roche for a moment. Now it's just the Jug. Was that on the slash use? That was.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Ricky has farmed up quite a bit. He's above this Timbersaw now, but again, the Luna really pulling ahead. 3,000 net worth ahead of this Jug. They're on Roche. Dire haven't caught a whiff of this yet. This is a long Roche with no Jug and no Invoker. Jug finally comes over. The illusion will make its way in. And we know that Roche is just about to die. But they don't make a move. Age is picked up by the Jug. Surprised to see the lack of pressure there.
Endurance run.
So take a 3,000 net worth lead again. They have the Aegis on the Jug. We'll see how the Dire intend to hold here. You see where the Luna's positioning is behind these Radiant heroes. And nobody from the Radiant has come over to the left. Almost level 25, too. Could Ags Luna here get 25, then Ags and put it on the Ricky? Coming over. Ricky looking for an opportunity here. And Disruptor's got to realize he just got blocked. Charge coming through, that hits onto the Disruptor. Blade Mail comes in, but he is feeling a little bit weak. There's the Eclipse raining down, but a lot of creeps here to mitigate this damage. The BKB is getting popped by the Luna as well as the Jug. Here comes the Ricky, gets the kill onto the Timbersaw. They'll take out the Disruptor, but they lose the Luna. Now they're trying to get on top of the Invoker, who goes back in. Meteor laid down, Deafening Blast coming in. Both the Spirit Breaker as well as the Lion die. Tinker in a lot of trouble. Triple kill here for the Ricky. They'll take out the Aegis. An Invoker. Get run down. Oh, staying alive just barely. Although Jug needs to be careful. Tricks of the trade. Tinker right on top. Dash is coming through. We'll see if they can keep up with this Jug. No longer having a Blade Fury, but going forward. Rockets in. Laser. Abyssal. Tornado, though. Keeps him alive. EMP with the Ice Wall. He should be able to escape. By the skin of his teeth getting out of that one. Blade. Tricks of the trade. Charge coming through. There's the bash. Rules used to stay alive for a little bit longer, but the rockets come in. Invoker on the low ground. I think he tried to blink across the river. Gets the Ghost Walk off, too.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
KB pop by the Jug. Buyback comes out from the Lion as well as the Tinker. As Radiant are trying to put some pressure on here. Charge towards mid. Oh, getting stopped right before he hits the Disruptor. Lucent Beam comes out. Hex onto the Timber. They've got themselves the finger to get the kill. Eclipse was also popped, which unfortunate for the Luna because he didn't need it at that point. The Abyssal Blade from the Ricky once again. They'll get the kill here on to the Disruptor. Charge all the way through. They don't have Dust for the Invoker, but they'll find the Sardar instead. 3 heroes dead. Possibly a tier 1 to follow.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
once again. Lucent Beam. EMP comes through. The BKB is going to be popped by the Luna. They don't have mana on any of these heroes, and Jug gets the kill onto the Lion. Now they look over as Jug has the Blade Fury onto the high ground.
Radiant's middle tower is falling.
Chain across. It goes on top of the Ricky, but they don't know it yet. Laser comes through onto the Jug. He's chasing this Luna onto the high ground. Doesn't have enough for a Lucent Beam, but this is under the tier 4 tower. Omni Slash gets used. There's the charge onto this Jug. Uses the Blade Fury, but gets bashed up. In trouble now as the ulti comes through, and now Tricks of the Trade on top, but no bash is coming in. Glimpsing back the Spirit Breaker. Chakram as well as the Whirling Death onto this Ricky. This game,
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
oh boy, Dire in a lot of trouble. This game could be in jeopardy for the Dire.
Structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Back from the Luna, charge comes in, Jug in a lot of trouble. Static Storm laid down, but the Kinetic Field's not going to lock anybody in. They've got the Silence onto the Luna sitting behind it. They'll get the Hex through. That's onto the Timber Saw. And now the Eclipse right on top. And this should get the kill, but he Timber Chains out. They just can't lock him in. So another Eclipse wasted.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Money changes hands.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Double damage bottom. Picked up by the Invoker.
Damage.
9,000 net worth, 10,000 net worth lead here for the Radiant. Let's take a look at these graphs, because I haven't taken a look yet, and it's been back and forth a couple times here. Dire at one point had an experience lead, and it looked like they were really coming back on this one. Surprisingly, the Radiant, I guess it costs a lot of buybacks here from the Dire, but they did not get a tier 3. It gives the Dire an opportunity to do quite a bit. Sword Art charge. This should secure the kill. It's actually Ricky who gets it. The tornado hits onto the Spirit Breaker, pops that Blade Mail. Omni Slash used. I wonder if Omni Slash being down is a little bit of a moment here for the Dire to do something. Got vision. Nobody here to follow this up. Finally bring over the Lion as well as the Luna. If they could just spot somebody, it could be this Timber Saw who's coming down towards the Lion, and now Ricky's here. They've got the Hex as well as the Abyssal. Butterfly picked up by the Luna, and now the Silence comes through. Here are the Rockets with the Finger. Yules is used, but he should be dead. You're also looking at this Invoker. Are you gonna try and follow this up? I don't think so. They do finish the charge, but again, he's not... If you're going to charge the Invoker, knowing that he's Ghost Walking so often, I don't know why you're not carrying Dust. Ricky, though, Silence. The Abyssal Blade comes through, but there's the Slithering Crush. He needs to get into the Tricks of the Trade. The Eclipse is going to follow this up with the 2-man stuff coming up from the line. They'll get the kill on the Disruptor as well as the Sword, or they'll look over the Juggernaut, who's got the BKB off, but it's not going to be enough. He's bashed up and killed. 3 heroes gone here in that exchange, and 4 heroes dead overall. On the Radiant side, they buy back on the Jug.
Point of scanning.
Sunstrike. Won't be able to make it over in time. Or will he? Ooh. I thought for a moment he might get in. I really said that with a lack of confidence that they weren't going to make it in time, but they do still get that Aegis, and that's going to be placed onto the Luna. Gem picked up for the Jug, so who's that going to be held on? So Timber will pick it up.
Death's bounty.
Very top-heavy net worth here for the Dire so far. 26,000 just about here for the Luna, and then 10,000 behind that is the Ricky. And then way behind that is the rest of the team, and you just see how much they're lacking, but yet the game is close to even.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Shivas, Timber Chain, they spot the Ricky, and they'll get the kill. Gem paying off already. Now they look over for the Luna, who is the top of the net worth hero, and they need to be careful going into this, because that's going to be Eclipse late down. Look at the kill on the star there. They look over at the Timber Saw. He's stunned up. Gem. It paid off for a moment, but it's not going to pay off when you give it up like that. And the BKB popped by Luna after everything kind of settled. Huh. Pushing up. Again, still needing to be careful here. Because there's the Tornado, but Invoker standing inside the Martian Machines. The Lincoln's going to be popped. They've got the Lion right behind him. And oh, the stun following it up, but the glimpse is already a little bit too late. Kinetic Field comes out, and that'll make some space. Jug TP's in. Now the Luna in a little bit of trouble. The BKB is going to be popped by the Jug with Invoker and Disruptor continuing to move forward, but the Rocket's flying through. They need to be careful. The BKB's no more, and the stun comes out onto two. Meteor, though, burning away on this Lion, and they've also got the Thunder Strike coming through to get the kill. Static Storm comes in, but it's not going to land on any of these heroes on side of the Dire. He up in 10 seconds. We'll see if he's able to make it back to charge. Finally lands onto the Jug, who needs to be careful. The Slither and Crush lands onto the Luna, and then the Tornado hitting on all three heroes on the Dire side who are here. The Timber Chain over. Everybody from the Radiant are over here. Chakram, Cataclysm, oh boy, Tinker, as well as the Spirit Breaker are gone. They pop the Aegis on the Luna. They surround him, and now they'll get the kill. Dead for 2 minutes. Everything in the kitchen sink being thrown, and that is a big fight here for the Radiant. So Radiant now not having to deal with this Luna for 90 seconds. Well, really 20, because he's got buyback in 18. Ricky kind of waiting. He needs a team behind him. He's got his friends in just a moment. The Luna not buying back immediately, but there it is. Okay, so it finally comes through. The Hex, the stun, the EMP. Ricky needs to be careful, and so did the Luna, but the Luna gets hit by that. Now down to half mana. The Meteor comes in, as well as the Tinker being alive. The buyback on the Lion. Let's see what they're able to do as the Timber Chain attempt, but the Hex comes through, so he's not able to run away. Timbersaw loses his life, and now the Radiant might need to eject here, but the BKB is popped by the Jug, and now he should just TP up, but the Blink Strike comes in. They'll get the kill on the Disruptor. Here come the Rockets. They'll find a couple of shots onto the Invoker as well as the Starter, but there's the ulti coming out from the Spirit Breaker onto the Starter, as well as the charge coming through onto the Jug, who blinks, but that's not going to disjoint. Eclipse, a little bit weak as it doesn't land on these heroes, as some of them had already died, and they got just out of range at the rest of it. But Jug once again with the Blade Fury. Invoker coming over. The Ghost Walk on top of them, slowing them down. But still, there's the charge with a lot of movement speed. They'll have the Lucent Beam to follow it up. And there's the Omni Slash. Manta used, bouncing around, not getting any kills. The Tornado comes through onto the Ricky, Tinker, and Luna. Will not find the Invoker, and they will not find this Jug. They lost the bottom racks, they lost the mid racks. Things are looking rocky here for the Dire. Sunstrike came out, but Roche not up yet for another 2 minutes. Tornado EMP. Luna losing a lot of that mana, but they've got the charge coming through as well as the Hex. They stun him up. The Glimpse is there, but it's not going to be enough to save the Invoker. He's going to be dead for 100 seconds. They look over the Timber Saw. Timber Chains over to the line. Not going to get the kill. Now he's in a lot of trouble. The Rockets come through as well as the Laser. They get the kill. Tricks to the trade on top of the Disruptor to get themselves a third. They look over the Sword Art. Blink Strike in, and it's a double kill for the Luna. The buyback comes out from the Invoker. Jug Hill die as well, dead for 2 minutes.
Radiant's courier has been
On top of that, Radiant lose their courier for the 3rd time. Buyback from 3 heroes. They'll lose the Slardar once again as quickly as he bought back. He is dead. The Cataclysm landing onto the Spirit Breaker, who gets low. Deafening Blast onto the Luna. Also sitting a little bit low here. Needs to be careful. The Force Staff forward. The BKB is going to be popping the Luna as well as the charge coming in. That'll land. The ulti comes through, but they're not following this up. They're just taking some time to get these racks over mid as the waves are bouncing around. And Luna taking a set of racks and evening it up in the mid lane. Tier 4 is now in trouble. Down goes one. Luna, though, still sitting really low here. Needs to be careful. So they get a set of racks. They even up the mid lane, and they are now up 6,000 net worth.
Radiant's bottom shrine has fallen.
Take out the shrine on top of that. Roche up in at least 16.
Well-gotten gains. Invisibility.
Lack of net worth on the Tinker and the Spirit Breaker. I'm surprised they have been able to really do so well. And Roche will be back up. This is going to be the third one. Aegis Cheese Refresher Shard. Double Eclipse possibilities. And nobody here from the Radiant. I don't know if they could really take this fight.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
Cheese for somebody. Now you're up against the Aegis.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
I think this is the first time the Radiant have had the Aegis on a
Dire's
Roche
top
kill
shrine
this whole
has
game, and
fallen. Radiant's
Dire
top
looking
shrine
strong with it.
is
And
under
it,
attack.
again, it's really not even all of the Dire. It's more the Luna doing so much,
Top
but
shrine has
Lion
fallen.
has achieved getting some farm here. Goes for Shadow Blade, which is interesting because I feel like you're going to have vision if you're the Radiant. I don't know if Shadow Blade's really the right call. I would have probably appreciated a Blink Dagger and then, like, I would say save that gold for an Ags maybe, or Aether Lens, or Glimmer Cape. I just don't know. I don't think Shadow Blade's the right move.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
Invoker picking up that double damage. Trying to save the Shrine and Will. Radiant down 9,000. This is their biggest deficit of the entire game, and it has become quite a struggle for them, and seemingly unable to pull it back with what the Luna brings to the table. If they could take out the Luna, they could take these fights, but it has to be quickly. 5-second BKB window that the Luna has. It's quite important here. See what the Radiant can do to kind of maybe turn this in their favor. Pressure orb coming in, and now they'll find themselves the Jug. Finger dead for 100, buys back immediately. Again, they're posturing on this bottom lane. Gotta be careful, though. There's the Eclipse coming in, as well as the Ricky. They'll look to get the kill onto the Timbersaw. They'll kill the Disruptor. Cataclysm flying in, doing a lot of damage. Now looking for more. They'll take the Aegis away from the Luna. The Omni-Slash bouncing around. They'll kill off the Lion. He's dead for 100 and still going. Spirit Breaker dies. Ricky might be next. The Eclipse comes in. Can it reach up to this Jug? No! Oh, man, this is horrible. But it looks like they still have quite a bit of damage, but this is him away from the rest of the team. So he'll come back, the Yules is out, onto the Tinker, they'll take out the Slardar, but they'll lose the Tinker. And now they lose the Ricky, it's just the Luna. BKB comes out, can you do it? Trying, but there's the Cold Snap. Timber Chain across, a lot of damage being done here, and the Force Staff. Timber Chain not landing.
Dire's top tower
Luna
is
still
under
trying to
attack.
get away. Oh, the juke, maybe? Tornado? Oh! Sidesteps it.
Bottom tower is under
Poker
attack.
onto the low ground. Luna's still running away. There's the Yule. Timber Chain is going to be in the wrong spot, but it's not going to matter with the Ice Wall under the Yule's Luna.
Damage.
Have the Radiant done enough?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Fly back on the Luna Ricky as well as the Lion. They have Spirit Breaker in 3, Tinker in 17.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Pixel Blade, Finger coming through, and now the charge, but the Tornado stops him in his tracks. They've got the EMP. They need to be careful with the Tricks of Trade on top of him. Won't matter, dead for 75. So now the game, again, sits even once more. Multiple 10,000 net worth leads being decimated.
What need have I for this?
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
So let's see what the Dire can do. They bought back on a lot of these heroes. It's going to be a problem. If they lose the next fight, they don't have buybacks on anybody. But the Radiant, they're sitting pretty. Got buyback on the
Radiant's
Invoker,
bottom tower.
the Timbersaw,
Radiant's
the
bottom
Sardar, and the Disruptor, just not on the Jug. Loosen beam, Ricky coming in, thinking about engaging. They've also got the Lion. The charge comes out. If they can get a good smoke cloud, they might be able to follow this up. They'll get the cone of the sword, or the tricks of the trade will be used. They look over at the Timber Saw. Cataclysm. It hits on the Luna, but just a bit. They'll get the kill onto 2 here for the Dire. Now they work on the bottom set of racks. Buybacks might be needed. They'll use it onto the Timber Saw. They look over at the Disruptor. They get themselves one. The BKB is going to be popped by the Luna. The Blue Lotus Orb is on this Timber, but Omni Slash bouncing around isn't going to be enough. Luna just gets out as it goes back to the Ricky. Nobody dead just yet. They finally lose the Lion, and now Ricky in a lot of trouble. He needs to get out of this one. The Blink Strike away, able to survive. They get the Tornado? No. But Spirit Breaker now Yule's up. Ice Wall on top, but the charge away. And they only lose the Lion. They take the set of racks, bottom, and kill 2, forcing the buyback on terribly on Timber Saw.
Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
So now back to an 8,000 net worth lead here for the Dire. Coming over, Spirit Breaker though, he's just able to charge away.
Endurance run.
Dire are scanning.
Quick sprint.
Smart money.
Let's see if they could close it here. Ooh, Invoker coming over. He spotted the Ricky, I believe. The pings were coming out from the Timber. He'll get Invis. He comes over. There's the dust immediately. Tricks of the Trade comes through. There's the Yules coming out, but the Cold Snap Blink Strike all the way over, making a lot of space as the Tinker will help out. Luna also coming over, but they don't want to continue to move forward on the Radiant side, and Ricky able to escape.
Illusion.
Quick sprint.
Kind of sitting stationary here, and I believe that's because the Dire know they don't have buybacks on a lot of these heroes. They can't be too aggressive when they know it could just be the end.
Oh, thanks.
The Invoker, Ghost Walk, they again just don't have the vision to get after him. This is another time where the Invoker has been able to freely Ghost Walk, and it's been seemingly all game, too. How are you, Mark Corleone? Roshi is up again. Aegis She's Refresher Shard, 4th Rosh of the game.
Invisibility.
Endurance run.
Sunstrike is there. Is it gonna be in time? The Radiant are getting close. They're gonna need something quickly, but Aegis, Cheese, Refresher Shard, they're leaving it all on the table! They need to go get that! They can't just let it sit. Now the tornado comes in, the cheese as well as the refresher shard still sitting on the deck. They finally pick it up. They've got the Hex onto the Timber, but the stun is a complete whiff again from the Lion. Leaving that all on the ground. This is another Roche attempt where they didn't really seem prepared to pick up what was going to be dropped.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Tornado coming through. They've got the Hex that's onto the Timber Saw. He's in a lot of trouble with the tricks of the trade coming out, as well as the charge that's going to land onto the Slardar. They'll look for the ulti. That's going to land. The Omni Slash onto the Luna. Will lose the first life, but you've thrown a lot of your artillery here. And, well, you haven't gotten more than just an Aegis.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Privyet, how are you? Take the tier 2, the tornado comes down on the 3, as well as the EMP and the Ice Wall being laid down, but the Ice Wall isn't exactly landing there. And now the Hex onto the Invoker, the Glimpse back onto the Luna. They've got the tricks of the trade, they'll get the kill onto the Disruptor, they look over at the Invoker, who's going to be bashed up by the Riki. The Rocket's coming through, Jug as well as the Invoker in a lot of trouble on the backlines behind this tier 3, as well as a set of racks. They get the tier 3, they look for this last set, and this will make Mega Creeps for the Dire. Tornado missing EMP. Luna trying to finish it. Then Manta will be used as the Slithering Crush comes out from the Slardar. But there is a bash coming in. The BKB's going to be popped by the Luna. The charge coming through. And the tricks of the trade laid down to the Slardar as well as the Jug. They look over the Invoker. Ghost walks back to base. But it's not going to matter. The Ancient is available. And the Ancient is going to die here.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's ancient is under attack. Dire victory.
Oh, I just got my shorts for calling Vici winning over Secret. Easy. 60 to 51. Easy replay. Post that on YouTube eventually. It'll have to do all that, but let's do another replay. Get this out. All the way. Actually, let me at least highlight it. Play some music while we wait. Or at least try. Go to my playlist. I want to play something specific here. What are you going to play? That's the question.
I said wait for the moment, come home, went to bed, while the other kids, they're still outside.